Hello and welcome back to a very different video on the Geografifa channel. Recently I set up a poll because I was trying to find what the best FIFA song of all time was. We got 21,000 votes on it, and in today's video we're going to be going through the top 15 best FIFA songs of all time. Make sure you check out the Spotify playlist in the description if you'd like to listen to the songs as we go, because unfortunately copyright restrictions mean I can't put them in the video. Make sure you check out my website in the description as well, where I've turned the script that I'm using to record this into an article, so you can just read it if you'd rather do that. So let's get started with 15th place, and all three of these songs got 51 votes. We have Move by Saint Motel from FIFA 17, Play It Out by the DMAs, also from FIFA 17, and from FIFA 16, All It Ever Was by Miami Horror. Now, I actually like all three of these songs, so I'm glad they're in this top 15, but I think the most surprising thing was that Saint Motel ranked this low. They're one of the most liked FIFA bands of all time, and it's a really upbeat and high-tempo song, and throughout this list, we'll figure out that that's exactly what people like on FIFA soundtracks. 14th place got 52 votes, so one more than 15th, and it's Bastille's Weight of Living Part 2 from FIFA 13. If it makes sense to say, the song sounds like 2013, when music was transitioning away from the indie of the late 2000s into the dubstep and EDM era, so it's kind of perfect that it was on FIFA 2013. Moving from 2013 to number 13, Are You What You Want to Be by Foster the People, Waving Flag by Kanan, Complicated by Avril Lavigne, and Up All Night by Beck all share 13th place with 54 votes. I'm surprised that Waving Flag was actually this low because I do think it's one of the most iconic songs to ever be on a FIFA game. Similarly, with Avril Lavigne, FIFA 2003 making an appearance this high is pretty surprising to me. It seems like a lot of the love for the games is either very recent or from the 90s, so for a song from the mid-2000s to get in here is pretty surprising. Going into 12th place, and with 55 wins, we have Sway by Tove Strike and Ticket to Ride by Koala. Sway was actually one of the first songs to receive a vote in the entire poll. It won a match against 16 Years by the Griswold, which is another fan favourite, but unfortunately will not appear in this top 15. It kept its winning streak up and only just missed out on the top 10. Similarly for Ticket to Ride, from FIFA 21, it's one of only 2 appearances from the 2020s, and it's also the newest song on the entire list. The song has a unique sound, which is one of the things that a lot of songs in this list have. They're more memorable and they've got more nostalgia attached to them because of it. One song that some people will start getting nostalgia for very soon is Ordinary People by Bugsy Malone. This is on FIFA 19, and Bugsy Malone is one of the biggest grime MCs to come from Manchester. He was only one win away from the top 10. Ordinary People was one of the first grime songs to appear on a FIFA soundtrack, and it did show the move away from indie rock and EDM, and the move towards grime and rap genres that happened on more recent FIFAs. Finally breaking into the top 10, and it's Shine a Light by Banners. Getting the last place in this top 10, Toronto-based Banners managed to be the only artist to end on 57 votes. The song is almost a perfect FIFA song. It's got a good combination of indie guitars, catchy electronic music, and easy to remember lyrics, so it's no surprise that this song ended up in the top 10. Going into 9th place with 59 wins, we have 2 very famous songs. The Nights by Avicii was probably one of the biggest artists that have ever appeared on a FIFA game. He was the king of EDM and electronic music back when EA put him on FIFA 15. However, he's also in the same position as Tub Thumping by Chumbawamba, which is one of the only communist sympathising punk rock groups that have ever appeared on FIFA. It really is an iconic song, and if you don't know it, please check it out because I guarantee you will have heard it in the past. 8th place has a couple of very well-loved songs. FIFA 14's Hit It by American Author was surprisingly low on this list. I really did think this was going to be in the top 5 at a minimum. However, it did have a really good win percentage with 60 wins from 79 appearances on the poll. Moving back to 2009, and Kids by MGMT is one of those songs that just gives you nostalgia. Playing FIFA 09, it was before Ultimate Team, it was when career mode was still king, and I'm sure it was probably before some of the people watching this video were even born. However, it was really comfortably in this top 10, and it absolutely deserved it. MGMT did also have a song on FIFA 10, however it missed out by getting only 39 wins, where it needed another 12 to find itself in the top 15. Royal Blood are the third artist that managed to get 60 wins, and they're a very well-known band to football fans, being on both PES and FIFA in the past. While people might know Figure It Out a little bit more, Trouble's Coming is iconic in its own way, and did mark the shift back towards indie on the FIFA 21 soundtrack. It was the second and final song to appear from FIFA 21. In 7th place, there's only one song, and it's Jerk It Out by the Caesars. Jerk It Out is another insanely catchy indie tune. I can't help hearing this song without thinking about Thierry Henry curling them past my brother's goalkeeper on one of the first FIFAs we ever played together. The starting synth is so catchy, it's even a TikTok meme now. However, I did think it would rank in the top 3 personally. However, only 7th place for the Caesars today. In 6th place, with 62 wins, we find a song that's actually appeared on 2 different games. In FIFA 14 and FIFA 21 as a remix, Love Me Again by John Newman is one of only 2 songs to ever appear on 2 versions of FIFA. However, for this poll, we counted only the original version, so this counts as a FIFA 14 entry, and it's actually FIFA 14's second and final entry into our top 15. It's a song that instantly takes you back to the Ibabu and Seydou Doumbia days, and I think that's all you have to say about that. Now into the top 5. With 64 wins, we have a second entry for Bastille. They managed to get a top 5 and a 14th place in this poll, once again mixing electronic with indie music, and once again another appearance for FIFA 17. 2 songs came in joint 4th place, and it's Iceland getting some representation thanks to Kallio's 2015 hit, Way Down We Go. It's a clear fan favourite from the game, and the song is a bit different to almost every other upbeat song on the soundtrack, and in fact in this top 25. It's got more of a brooding sound. It's understandable how the uniqueness became loved by so many, so Kallio have managed to equal FIFA favourites Foster the People with 65 wins. If Call It What You Want doesn't instantly take you back to trying to snipe Wellerton on foot 12 or trying to raise funds to sign Pato on career mode, you either must be very young or very forgetful. This song being on the soundtrack actually introduced me to Foster the People, and it's from there that I found one of my favourite songs of all time, which is on this same album called Houdini. I doubt I'd have been listening to Foster the People for as long as I have if it wasn't for EA putting this on the soundtrack, but Call It What You Want was actually the song that appeared the most times in matchups. With 81 appearances, it won 65 of them, giving it a win rate of just over 80%. Before we get into our top 3, having narrowly missed out by a single vote, the following 6 songs all finished in 16th place. As a side note, if you'd like to support me doing these weird ideas, this one cost me about £35 in hosting and Google API fees, please do consider either becoming a YouTube member or checking out my merch store, which you can find in the description below. Now, going into the top 3, we have yet another song from FIFA 15, and it's almost like Jungle wrote this song about EA as a company. It's directed at individuals who spend their entire existence working for money and neglecting other parts of their life, which I think we can all agree happens with career mode on FIFA. Matching Jungle's 66 wins, we have On Top of the World by Imagine Dragons. Weirdly, this is the only song that's ever been on both PES and FIFA the same year. Whether this boosted its popularity, I'm not entirely sure, but veterans of both PES and FIFA will definitely have fond memories for this song. Once again, it's a song that hits all 3 of the key points. It has indie guitars, it has an upbeat sound, and it has something memorable that goes throughout the entire song, in this case, clapping. Second place had 69 wins, and it's the oldest song on this list. The chances are, if you're watching this video, going from my analytics, it's probably older than you. With limited size on the PS1 CDs, EA actually only chose to include 6 different songs for the World Cup 98 soundtrack, but the ones that did make it were all iconic. Song 2 is a parody of the early 90s grunge Nirvana sound made by one of the biggest British pop groups at the time. Not only did they create a song that's outlasted almost every grunge band, but it's also a time capsule into the 90s itself. Song 2 was actually the first licensed song ever put on a FIFA soundtrack, as well as the first one you hear when you loaded up 98 World Cup. So for such an old song to rank second in 2022 shows that it really is a perfect FIFA song. However, there always has to be one that's better, and going from 69 wins all the way up to 80 wins, it's Saint Motel's My Type. When I was thinking about my own personal favourite 5 FIFA songs, there was no question I knew this song had to be in that top 5. It seems everyone who voted also agrees with me. With 80 wins from the 83 times this song appeared, it was actually only beaten 3 times. Each of these 3 losses were to other songs in this top 15, where Song 2, Hit It, and MGMT's Kids all managed to beat it once. The song once again hits all the key points to be a good FIFA song. It's got an iconic brass section, it's got catchy and kind of meaningful lyrics that you can understand and sing after the first time you've heard it, and it's got a fun upbeat sound that you can't help but love. It has all the ingredients to be a perfect soundtrack song, and that's exactly what it is. Just like almost every other song on this list, it gives you nostalgia and can take you back to when you were playing FIFA. In this case, it takes me back to when I got my brand new PS4 back in 2014 and I was playing FIFA 15 on it for the first time. With 80 wins from 83 appearances or a 96% win rate, there's no doubt that My Type is the most loved FIFA song of all time. If you have suggestions for other songs you think would be really good in FIFA, drop them in my Discord or shoot them over to me on Twitter because I'm always looking for good new music. I hope you enjoyed this countdown video, but I couldn't have done it without every single person who voted, so if you do, thank you so much. I hopefully see you all very soon. Subscribe if you want to see more weird videos like this, and I'll see you very soon. Thank you and goodbye.